Georgia, where the field is rolling out for the start of today's 400-lap race on this .625-mile racetrack. Here's the starting lineup. On the pole from Dawsonville, Georgia, in the number 9 Coors Ford qualifying and Winston Cup race from North Wilkesboro is underway. Everybody nicely through turns number 1 and 2 as Bill Elliott has the lead and Dale Earnhardt has jumped into second position, followed by Benny Parsons and Bobby Allison.
His second win of 1987.
We welcome you here live for the MaxspeedTV event here for iSCAR Yost Auto Sales Legend Series, getting set to go green here just momentarily at the Daytona International Speedway, but it's not the usual Daytona we're at. We're at the old version of the racetrack, the bumpy one, and what they ran back in '09. But yeah, glad everybody y'all can tune us in here for tonight. Also have another series going on as of right now. You go ahead and check out the Slide Job Racing Lead, Dr. Sasquatch Cup Series. I think Joshua Medlock is also broadcasting that, but welcome here live tonight here at Daytona. My name is Chris.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and I'm pretty damn excited for this series, man.
Yeah, same here. This is something different that iSCAR is going to run here for tonight. Looks like, I think, 21 drivers are going to line themselves up for 75 laps here around the Daytona International Speedway. This race is all going to be about attrition. Who's going to survive it all the way to the end for that 75th lap? Because, of course, no green-white checkers here for tonight. Old point system. Everything is just straight up textbook the Winston Cup Series. So, one small mistake, man, going to cost you a lot.
Yeah, we should just...
Oh my gosh.
Oh no. Hopefully that doesn't happen during the race, but yeah, we should probably just dive right into that, I guess. So, you know, just a bit of a refresher, of course, the old point system that's pre-2004 chase format, so just the most points at the end of the season, it's the champion, that's all she wrote. In terms of the restarts, they will be how NASCAR used to run them, where the lead lap cars will line up on the outside line, and all of the cars that are laps down will line up on the inside. So the phrase "damn lapped cars" might be said more in this series than in every iSCAR race before it combined, but it's part of the nostalgia, so we're going to roll with it.
Yeah, man. I'm interested to see on how these drivers are going to tackle these kind of conditions here for tonight. I know a lot of people raced the Legend Series once they went to Daytona and farmed off of that. You see a couple people sliding in and around and such like that, but no restrictor plates here at Daytona. Everybody is going to have to wheel it around, and especially at a track like this. Oh boy, there's bound to be some sort of a race. It's going to be something different.
hopefully enough people make it deep enough into the race where it's enough of a race by the end of it. Of course, only a 21 car field in a 75 lap race. It'll probably either be just a massive wreck fest, or it'll be something like the ARCA Talladega race from a week ago, where it was pretty mellow for pretty much 74 of the 75 laps, or however many it was. So I think we're going to have a polar opposite here. It'll be on one end with no wrecks, and on the other end with a lot of wrecks, but we'll have to see how many people are still on the track when the checkered flag drops.
Yeah, that's right. Only 17 seconds remaining in practice as of right now. Joe Berge in that number 83 will be on top of the charts. And it's throwback time here at Daytona. We're about to go ahead and scoot ourselves into qualifying here in a moment. Also going to scoot into the national anthem, so go ahead and rise up, remove your hats as we salute our nation's colors. We'll welcome you here back for the iSCAR Yost Auto Sales Legends Series here at the Daytona International Speedway 2008 edition. Currently under qualifying conditions as these drivers log in their fastest two to get themselves up here toward the front of the grid. And here for tonight, qualifying is different. Rather than, you know, full throttle, hug the bottom, and get your fastest lap, and hopefully keep your wheel straight, you gotta wheel this car. This car is all sorts of sideways in the middle of the corner as we see Mulrooney take his lap around. Charlie Byer now on top of the board as we'll see what Mulrooney hit right here. A 44.926. So some of these drivers don't really know how to qualify on this track with this car, because it's so drastically different than what you see on a traditional super speedway.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you there. Of course, Mulrooney looking for some redemption. He's had besides his win on Thursday night in the modified series, the last two races he's run have not been pretty good. Of course, in the IndyCar series on Friday night, he cleared the track, and of course, nobody wants to do that, but as Aaron puts down a 44.81 for fourth place. But yeah, Aaron cleared the track on Friday night and finished 36th last night in the Super Speedway Series. So Aaron definitely off to a good start by currently qualifying in the top 5. So hopefully he can get himself back on the right track and back up towards the front. Yeah, and it looks like Bianchini just did a funny lap.
I think that's his warm lap, honestly. He's right up against the safer rear. Yeah. That lap didn't count for him unless he tagged the wall, but keep scrolling around and see all these drivers qualifying. Hunter Johnson, that number 12 is out on the racetrack.
And we saw Mitch Hobbs on pit road, of course, the Super Speedway Series champion, the defending one. So Mitch knows a thing or two about these plate tracks, but I'm curious to see how much he knows about this plate track, because of course, even though this is Daytona, this is not your average Daytona, because this has more bumps than one person can count. and it drives much differently than the current version of Daytona in the sim. So for people that usually just run the regular Daytona, this may be a bit of an adjustment for them.
Yeah, and you said plate Daytona. You gotta hold that statement there for a moment because this is a non-restrictor plate race. Everybody's gonna be running into the corners at well over 210 miles per hour. So,
Spicy.
yeah. And that in turn is gonna result in some interesting wrecks as well. Of course, no roof flaps. This was the year, I think, who was it? I don't know who blew over
That
into
would
the catch
be
fence.
Bobby Allison at Talladega in 1987.
Right.
And I think that was the same year Bill Elliott set or it was around the same time, I think maybe give or take a year or two, that Bill Elliott set his 212 mile per hour lap. So, yeah, this is pre-restrictor plate. So, as you said, they're probably going to hit 210, maybe up to 215 down the backstretch. So, that'll be an adjustment in itself, too, because not only will this track be much more bumpier, but they're also going to be driving it at a much higher rate of speed than what we probably saw at the Super Speedway race last night.
That's
And
right.
that'll do it here for qualifying. In the 76 of Eric Sutcliffe has won the pole, so congratulations to him. And joining him on the front row will be that 48 of Michael Bianchini.
Row number 2 going to be Hunter Johnson, and that number 12 right alongside of him, the 08 of Dylan Basin in 4th place.
Yeah, Dylan won the last Super Speedway race last season. Charlie Byer will start himself here in 5th, and Brody Gardner, the goated road course racer here, will start 6th.
Josh Anstenez in that number 68. He's going to be starting P7. Aaron Mulrooney Jr. in P8.
And rounding out your top 10 would be Ryan Barry in the 59 and Cole Woody, last night's Super Speedway winner.
Rest of the orders are going to be shown on your screen. Find your favorite driver. Hopefully you'll win it here for tonight. My pick is going to be that number 96 is Zoltan Herzog. He's been close this whole entire weekend. Came second at Stafford. Was really close on the Super Speedway side before he got turned. I'm expecting that 96 to maybe be your winner here for tonight. Not only that, I raced with him a couple of times when the Legends cars went to Daytona, and I finished second to him. I worked with him the whole entire race, and he knows how these cars work. So expect that 96 to work himself forward.
This is a bit of a tough pick for me because, of course, this is the first time that we're doing a race with these cars, and it's been a long time since iSCAR has done a race at Legacy Daytona. So this is going to be probably the most unpredictable race of the entire weekend, even more so than last night. But my money is on the guy that seems to get lucky quite a bit at these races, and that guy is the number 7 of Charlie Byer.
Yeah, Charlie has visited Victory Lane through some Super Speedway wrecks. He won at Daytona in the Cup Series for the first round there. He also won as well at, I think, Truck Series at Talladega. So that number 7 has some luck on his side, and hopefully he'll use it to his advantage. Maybe make something happen. As you see, a couple of people are actually going to start on pit road.
Yeah, that's an interesting call, but I also totally understand it I would not be surprised if we do see a lap 1 incident. Of course, I don't hope that happens, but with how new all of this stuff is, I wouldn't put it out of the question. So probably just a safety measure, I guess, for those guys on pit road. So if there is a big wreck, they won't end up in it.
Yeah, that's right. For this race, everybody has to adapt to this kind of environment. The first time they're going to set foot here in iSCAR on this kind of car / track. As you see the cone get murdered on the left-hand side. Race analysis is going to be shown on the bottom right. 75 laps here for tonight. 187 miles in total. Pit road speed is 55 miles per hour, and fuel window you see right there. A couple of question marks right next to it because I honestly don't know what the fuel is going to be here for tonight.
And that throws a whole nother wrench into the mystery that is the 87 cars at Daytona, because not only do you have a new track, or new track for some, not only do you have a new car, but you also have an undetermined fuel strategy. So there is a lot of different components here to what should be a really interesting debut to this series.
That's right. As the space car works itself off the final corner, the number 78 will lead it to the green. That's Eric Sutcliffe, your first ever pole sitter here in the Legends Series. One car really blinking on that high side. I don't know who that is. I think it's Joe Berge. But the base car is in. We're green here at Daytona for 75 laps.
Yes, Sutcliffe got a nice jump there on the bottom as that Mountain Dew car, I think that's Brody Gardner, manages to slide himself down into third on the bottom. Basin, I believe that's a Bud Moore throwback on the top side, as Hunter Johnson will move up high there in the middle of turn 2. So that'll put Gardner down to second on the inside.
Yeah, 2x2 action as they work off this second corner for the first time tonight. Oh, around goes the 76, and he goes to airborne, and the car catches air. It sets back on all four, but the caution flag flies, and Eric Sutcliffe goes for a wild ride, but the wrecking in front into 3 as well.
See who else is in this. Hopefully no one else, but yeah, there's the lap 1 wreck that those guys on pit road were trying to avoid, so a nice call by everyone that started on pit road, because that just paid off wonders for them. And we'll take a look and see what brought the caution out here, but they were pretty squirrely on the backstretch.
That was close. That was close. That car flung up in the air, but luckily it set back down on all 4. We'll get another replay at it again as we'll watch the number 78 of Sutcliffe. Garner was down to the...
Ooh, yeah.
I really don't know what he was doing.
I think he had a bit of a run and just had nowhere to go with it, and unfortunately, the only place he did go with it was Eric Sutcliffe's quarter panel, but fortunately the 76 did not go over, and of course, the blowovers are a new feature just in these cars so far, so you will not see blowovers like this in the Super Speedway series, but you will see them here, as we almost did right there. But yeah, like I said, I think Gardner just got a big head of steam and couldn't go anywhere with it, and unfortunately Sutcliffe is the innocent victim of that exchange.
Luckily, he just spun through the grass. I don't know if he's going to have some bottom side damage from the car smacking the grass. You only get, like, I think only 2 pace laps around here. I'm not really sure, but it's very, very fast pace laps because you don't have to sort out too much as Kilo Hankins is on pit road. You see some other drivers right behind who's going to elect to go on in. That's, I think, Grayson Trexler, William Schmidt, and a couple other laggers right behind, but also have to add on the number 2 of Aaron Mulrooney, the number 3 of Michael DeMaggio. They will not start here for tonight unless they want to rejoin late. Yeah, under caution here for the first time, and wow, that was scary.
I'm a bit surprised that Aaron didn't start, but like you said, hopefully he does get himself onto the track. Of course, that'd put us with only 19 or 20 cars for a 75 lap race, so hopefully we do have a bit more of a car count than that.
Yeah, only 20 cars out on the racetrack as of right now. Kilo Hankins has yet to scoot himself off. See all these drivers just getting off of pit road and such. Casey Drake just electing on with 4 tires. Michael Bianchini right there, and that number 48. I'm going to go ahead and open up the camera and switch to Chase because go ahead and edit this camera. Let's take a look at these paint schemes.
Yeah, it looks like Jimmy Johnson's 2006-2007 scheme, of course, won his first of 7 Cup Series championships in that scheme. Of course, Bianchini, a very big Jimmy Johnson fan, so no surprise to see him running that. And I'll be honest with you, I think that looks as good on this car as it does on the one it ran.
Now, take a look at some other schemes. The 12, 100 Johnson just running a blank one, which, yeah, I'm not going to comment on that. The 08 of Dylan Basin. Don't know what scheme this is, but it's Ford quality care.
Yeah, that's a scheme Bud Moore ran, I believe, around 1995, 1996. I can't remember the driver off the top of my head. I want to say it might be Lake Speed, but don't quote me on that. It's a really cool car either way, and I'm glad to see it brought on the track, because even though Bud Moore's team wasn't as competitive in the mid to late 90s, it still stood out on the racetrack.
Yeah, that's right. Charlie Byron, that number 7. That's definitely a custom-made scheme. Dr. Pepper throwback-ish. I don't know if he has a bit of rear end damage. I see the back end a bit tore up right
He
there.
might.
Not really sure. Cole Woody in the 914, of course, iconic Bill Elliott Ford.
That's the scheme, of course. He set his 212 mile per hour lap in, so definitely a bit of history in that wrap.
Josh
There's,
Ansnes,
yeah, that's
E68.
Ricky Rudd's old ride right there. Ricky Rudd's or Darrell Waltrip's.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I take a look at the nameplate. It says Darrell Waltrip on that.
Yeah, that's right. Ricky Rudd was mid to late 90s, but the Tide Ride's been iconic in NASCAR for a long time.
Yep.
That's a cool one to see on there. I'm not sure if this is a throwback or not, but it looks nice regardless.
Yeah, looks like Zoltan's running a custom-made paint scheme. I see his name on the roll bar right there. Zoltan J. Hertzeg. He's sporting some different colors. I see the 59 of Ryan Berry. He's in a... I don't know if that's a custom-made scheme or what, but...
I believe so.
Alright, here we go. Well, Rooney finds himself back into the racetrack as we take the green flag for the first time tonight. Cars jumping up with the high side. Again, single file restarts here at Daytona. And that number 96 is taking advantage of working himself around. 3 wide already. Split through the middle is Cole Woody in that 914.
Yeah, just to point out really quickly, of course, there were no cars lapped down yet, so there were none to line up on the insides. I believe that's why the leaders were on the bottom, but in other races later on this season, of course, we're going to Bristol for this series next week. You'll definitely see that on a restart. There's one car on the wall back there where you'll definitely see that. It's on the bottom.
Yellow.
Barry.
Another wreck. Oh, there's more drivers piling in this time.
In there as well. Cole Woody's in there last night. Oh,
it's a weird flip.
Yeah, Cole Woody involved, of course, won the Super Speedway Series race last night at Daytona, and Ryan Berry's car is junk.
And that's 2 lap 1 incidents that we've seen, and unfortunately for that number 79, William Schmidt, his day is destroyed, and wow, this time we took out some cars, and unfortunately, not really sure what all happened as,
I think
Cole
Cole
Woody.
might have come down a little bit. I mean, they were oh, and there's where William gets involved.
Oh,
and
another driver.
And he grip flips on the apron. Somebody back there is running the Hornet scheme from Dirt to Daytona, and I'm glad somebody is. Because, yeah, I think Cole just came down when he wasn't really clear to, and you'll see right there he goes a bit to the left and right into the path of that 59, and around they both go.
You see William Schmidt there in that number 79 pile in very late.
Ooh.
That's the, I think, I don't know who that is, but his engine's smoking.
Mitch
89.
Hobbs.
Yeah, Mitch Hobbs is done for, most likely, and Schmidt took a weird tumble.
Yeah, almost like he flipped on the yellow line right there.
Yeah, it's almost as if those left side tires caught the apron and it toppled him over, like right there. It's weird.
Saw a similar wreck in, of course, in the 2005 Daytona 500 where Scott Wimmer spun down onto the apron and his car was high centered on the banking and on the flat apron, and it just sent him right over and he barrel rolled. So, you know, old school NASCAR definitely had some weird stuff going on. So in a way, I guess it's a bit realistic. But unfortunate either way for that 79.
Yeah, with that big wreck, definitely took out some drivers that time. Cole Woody is disconnected from the session. I'm pretty sure the number 79 of William Schmidt, he's, yeah, he's 19th place, but I think he wants to get himself out in the racetrack. He only toppled over because of that one odd area, but he got himself back on the racetrack and make something happen.
Yeah, he's got 68 laps to do it, so definitely time on his side for that. But hopefully his damage, of course, from flipping isn't too severe. So hope to see how that plays out. And Ibrahim Dajani already up to 6th place in this race. Haven't mentioned his name yet tonight. But that 95 looking for a strong start to the Legend Series, as well as that 99 of Jake Corway. So 2 guys we don't usually talk about that much, currently in the top 10, so we'll have to see if those guys can stay there at the end.
Yep. 1200 Johnson, Zoltan Herzog, Dylan Bass, and Charlie Beyer. Josh Anson is going to round out the top 5. Let's take a look at more paint schemes. Of course, we were just talking about this, the 68, and here's Ibrahim Dajani.
That, I believe, is a Jeff Bodine throwback, I think, from Bud Moore's team. The one I've seen where I think was red as the base and the stripes are white, but that's still a pretty nice looking car. Pretty much every car in the field is, but that's a cool one.
Southwest. This one's probably custom made. I'm not really sure though.
That might be. That's a tough one. We'll have to get the research department more active during the races. We got to get Dog the statistician back in here.
Yeah. Grayson Trexler in the number 45.
Yeah, that's the Dirt to Daytona car I was mentioning before in the replay. That's anybody that's played Dirt to Daytona knows what that car is, and I'm glad it's on the track.
Matthew Klein.
That's the Underbird.
Yep,
the car,
Alan Kowicki.
Yep. The most recent owner-driver before Tony Stewart to win a Cup championship. Of course, did that in 1992. There's a lot of history in that race at Atlanta. There's our series host, or series sponsor rather, Scott Yost. I'm not sure if I think that's a custom-made scheme, but it's pretty spiffy either way. And shout out to Scott for sponsoring this series.
For 87 of Casey Drake. Don't know what the scheme is. Can you fill me in?
I think that is the scheme that Daryl Waltrip's character in the Cars movie was wrapped in.
Yeah, I think
Daryl Cartrip.
Right.
I think that's what that is.
Might be right.
Yeah, these cars have provided an opportunity for a lot of cool schemes to be made. The pace car will slide itself down on pit road, and we are back green here. And there you see Kealoha Hankins 3 laps down. So here's our first instance of the lapped cars starting on the bottom. So now I get to see it firsthand, and it looks like Kealoha will let these top 3 slide themselves down.
Yeah, Kealoha in that number 72, as you see Matthew Klein just get out of the way right there. Kealoha in the 72 can only get laps back through restarts. He has to get in front of those leaders as they are shuffling down the back straight. Up to the high side comes the 96 of Zoltan Herzog. The 08 of Dylan Basin is going to help him coming into 3. Never mind that. Kealoha gets tight, nearly into the wall right there, but
So did Dylan. Kealoha's still tight. Whoa! Is he going to hold on to it? Yes, he does.
Oh, car in the wall!
And Kealoha may have just gotten disqualified right there as someone just piled into him. That's the 85 of Yost. And unfortunately, we are back under the yellow once again for Josh Anstis, Kealoha Hankins, and a few other people.
That's the 3rd yellow in a row, and you saw right there,
He already hit the wall.
Yeah. Anstis was just trying to slide up in front of Kealoha. I don't know if he got loose or tight. Tagged the wall and it shot him out in a weird way. Kealoha probably
right there.
Forward.
Yeah, and unfortunately Scott Yost looks like he actually hit Kealoha's hitbox, even though Kealoha either Alt F4 was disqualified, and unfortunately that sent Scott spinning directly into Josh. So a bit of a netcode glitch there, unfortunately, for the 85. And I think there was another car involved on the bottom. In addition to those 3. There's Yost.
The big hit right there.
Yeah, there's Brody spinning through the grass. That might be the car. Another car there. I think that's... Whoa! That was Sutcliffe.
I just barely avoiding through the grass at number 76. Just getting himself through. But yeah, under caution again. Not a lot of span.
Looks like Zoltan's gonna... Yeah, Zoltan's gonna come in. Looks like Dajani also in as well. So it seems to me that these cars definitely do have a learning curve with them. That's Charlie Beyer actually on pit road. Between the new cars and this version of the track, definitely a learning curve for these guys. So I'm honestly not that surprised that we're seeing this kind of race. But unfortunately, with only 21 cars to starting the race to begin with, there may not be that many left at the finish.
Yeah, and I sort of predicted that. As you said, there's a learning curve coming in for tonight. You gotta get a feel of what the car feels like in the draft, and unfortunately, some of these drivers wheeled it wrong and had a big wreck. Now we're down to only 17 cars out on the racetrack as of right now. Scott Yost, the number 85, trying to get his motor going, such, but
That Schmidt's still on pit road with him. I think he's still getting repairs from his flip. It looks like DiMaggio did not start, but Mulrooney is on track, and he is a lap down, so it looks like he will line up on the bottom for the restart, and I think he'll be the only car down there.
yep, that number 2 just, I don't know if he got a wave around or not, because usually there's no wave arounds on speedways, but I mean on these kind of things, I don't know if I accidentally one of the admins waved him around or it was already automatically enabled, but we'll have to see.
Perhaps, because wave arounds definitely did not exist in 1987.
Yeah.
That much I know. So I think we're going to get the one to go here.
Yeah,
and Hunter...
Yep.
Yeah, Hunter the leader still. Basin, well, I would say front row, but for single file restarts, so he'll be in second. Ibrahim Dajani now up to third, so a strong run for him in the early goings. Looks like Corway will be in fourth, and Trexler will round out your top 5. And looks like Yost's motor still doing the smoke, so unfortunately that might be the end of his night.
He could get out on the racetrack and
There's Klein.
log in a couple of laps to get himself ahead of some of more people that are gonna probably wreck it here soon, because man, this race has been absolutely caution filled.
It's almost weird because I would usually want more cars in the field to start with, but then again, if we still, with what we've seen so far with only 21 cars, imagine what we would have seen with 43 cars and how much bigger each of those wrecks would have already been.
That's right.
So even at this juncture, we'd probably still be around the same place in terms of cars left on track, but looks like we're going to have, I think, 16 or 17 left on this restart, and it looks like Mulrooney came down pit road, so he will not be on the bottom. This will be restart number 3 after 3 early yellows, and hopefully we can get a green flag run going here.
Yeah, I've yet to log in a green flag lap, but as these drivers work themselves off the final corner, number 12 of Hunter Johnson this time will lead it coming to the green, rather than Zoltan Herzog, who's trapped all the way back there in 10th place. Green flag is out. We're back up and away at Daytona.
Looks like Dajani didn't get that good of a start. There's a bit of a gap between him and the 08 of Dylan Basin. It looks like Brody Gardner's going to try the high side here to see if he can make up some ground there. It looks like Trexler will join him up there.
All these drivers just sort of wrestling around each other, trying to get a handle of the track as we see a bit of sunlight on 2. They work themselves down the back straightaway this time. Everybody fairly even as you see a bit of shuffling there for the 3rd place. Yep, that's Brody up on the high side.
Looks like Basin trying to go side by side with Hunter, but just does not have any help to do it. But Hunter wiggles a little bit on the bottom, so Dylan might be able to try and make a pass up here on the high side. But never mind, there goes around.
That's the same situation that we saw,
but
no caution.
Into the wall.
No caution happens this time.
That's unfortunate because he definitely hit the wall there, and he had to run out of turn 4, but just like the 68 Advances, just got up into that wall, and once you get into the wall like that on this track, there's no saving that car.
Yeah. Oh man, they're really stacked up 2 by 2, and Zoltan Herzog to the bottom side of the racetrack. He wants to help Hunter Johnson. Never minded that. He's going to go with a 55 of Gardner. So
and Zoltan's all over the place trying to get up there.
Yep.
There's Dajani on the inside trying to help Hunter. He's made that difference up now, but he's wiggling a lot too. It makes you wonder, if you go back on YouTube and watch an old race like this, they used to wiggle this much in real life too, but on iRacing it's much more exaggerated, of course.
I think, man, you saw right there how sideways he was, but I think it's the learning curve that comes in here for tonight. A lot of these drivers don't know how to handle this race car, and they're just trying to get a feel of what it is in the draft. I know a lot of these drivers didn't get a lot of draft experience out here, but I don't know if they ran a lot of legends and such. 3 wide, and Brody's now against the safer barrier. Zoltan splits the middle.
Yeah, I see William Schmidt back on the track 8 laps down after completing his repairs, so that was the car on the apron. Yeah, top 4 single file now out of turn 4 as Zoltan takes the lead for the first time tonight. Hunter tries to make a move down low, but he will be blocked by that 96.
Oh man, they're so sideways off the
What a
trial.
move.
Wow, back to the inside goes Hunter. He wants to retake the lead, and he drives as it gets the yellow line. But he can't. I don't know if he can make it stick though.
Man, it looks like they're just drifting into the turns. It's really cool to watch, honestly. It's almost every time they go into turn 1, I think one of them's going to wreck, and then they just nicely drift it right through the turn. But here's Brody coming up to the lead here into turn 3. Hunter to his inside here is Bianchini now making an appearance in the top 5 for the first time tonight.
Yeah, the top 2 iSCAR winners of this week as they scoot themselves right up off the final corner. Zoltan Herzog just about quarter paneled that number 55. Well, Brody Garner, as you see one car right up against the safer barrier. But man, this is a lot of fun to watch these drivers wheel around. But hopefully they know how old tires function throughout as Joe Berge wants to make himself in 6th place.
Yeah, Berge running the Lake Speed throwback here for tonight, his classic Purex car. Trying to make himself up to the lead. I think that's a plane moving in the background. I thought that was a cone, but it's not a cone. Zoltan goes down to the bottom here into turn 3 to block the run that Hunter has, but can't quite make it stick. And that 12 may have a shot here out of turn 4.
Hunter right up off the final corner as drifting to fend off that 3rd spot is the 7 to Charlie Byer. Side by side for the lead. Hunter right against the safer barrier. I think he might have gotten tight through the tri-oval and not allow Zoltan to pull ahead. But here comes Brody in the 55.
Yeah, Bianchini up there as well. He might take it 3 wide here, but Brody shuts the door on him here. But he might have a run here out of turn number 2. We'll see if he can do with it. There goes Brody up high with Hunter behind him. So let's see if Brody can make this move on the outside work.
Now, Michael, well, he lifted there. He wants to not use up the tires too much as he worked himself into turn number 3. It's more bumpier on the low side as Hunter fills in the gap between himself, the 96 and the 48, but it's bumpier on the low side rather than up a groove higher, so you'll probably see some of these drivers. I see Hunter right up against that apron. Man, that was close.
Yeah, they're coming up on a slow car. They got to be really careful. That's Dylan Basin, who we saw spin out before, and he will get himself onto the apron and out of harm's way. But yeah, you mentioned it with all the bumpiness. Even though the Tokyo drifting looks really cool, that definitely eats these tires up. So if we get a strong green flag run here, we might have green flag pit stops soon in the picture.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I expect green flag pit stops maybe in about, I'd say...
Whoa!
Oh my goodness,
Nice
Brody is
save,
dead
Brody.
sideways.
That's a save of the race so far, as he will maintain that 4th spot as Bianchini now up into 3rd.
Oh, car in the
He
wall
might
right
get
behind.
second here. Now, their single file looks like 5th or so on back, as Joe Berge trying to join this party up at the front for the first time tonight. Byer up there as well on the bottom, and now he'll jump up high. Yeah, once they started to get the hang of it, this has been really fun to watch, as Byer's going to get in the wall right there. Big time.
Oh, he's still hopping around.
wall.
Oh, that'll be a caution.
Watch out.
Casey Drake.
Casey Drake might need a change of underwear right there, as he barely missed that 7 car. But he will move forward with his race, as here comes Brody back up on the outside as Zoltan will dive low. Hunter trying to make it work on the bottom once again.
Yeah, I'm fairly surprised to see all these drivers grouped up. Usually on traditional super speedways, they'll really fan out a lot, but of course this is a fixed setup. Everybody on the same spoiler angle and same aero package as the rest of the field. But oh man, Brody hopping up the track. Now side by side with the 12, which will pull Zoltan to the lead. Oh, Berge's around!
Joe Berge, both into the outside wall, and we will be under caution once again.
I honestly don't think that was a hard hit. Oh, I hear more wrecking up front.
Yeah, somebody else went around. We'll have to see who and where. Unless that was a false alarm. And they were side by side here coming out of turn number 4. Oh, I think Burgee got the apron and just sent him right up the hill. Looks like Dejani got a piece of that as well. Yeah, this is one of those tracks where if you hit the apron, you're probably not going to have a good time. And unfortunately, Joe Burgee just got a first-hand experience of hitting the apron at Legacy Daytona.
Yep. At the current version of Daytona, there's a sharp angle that these drivers could ride up against. So if they do hit the apron, they'll have a bit of leverage, a bit of margin to save it. But for Brody, he tagged the apron, and the apron's curved, so it might have reshot that car back up tight, right into the 48 of Bianchini. And luckily, those two cars didn't hit as hard. For Bianchini, I'm pretty sure he's fine, but for the 83 of Burgee, he might have a bit of lengthy repairs for that machine. It's a good break for the 7 of Charlie Beyer and a couple of these drivers who did spin out. Of course, Dylan Basin being one of them. Oh, it looks like everybody's going to hit pit road.
Yeah, and that's not surprising with I'm sure their tires are probably Dunyan rings at this point, as we're about a third of the way through the race, so now's not a bad time to get tires, and as you said, pretty much everybody's on in. But I'm curious to see if anybody will take 2 tires or if everyone will err on the safe side and just slap 4 on.
Oh, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to slap on 4. Even with restrictor plates in the car tomorrow, back in the day when you ran at the old Daytona, you'd always slap on 4 tires because grip meant a lot here.
There's Zoltan out first. And looks like Trex was going to pick a couple spots up. He'll be cut third off pit road. Brody had a very slow pit stop. I wonder if he may have taken some optional repairs.
Yeah, by the looks of it, a 31-second lap time, so at number 55, just taking some optional repair, but we saw everybody on pit road, so this is going to hit a reset button for a couple of these drivers. Hopefully,
yes.
They'll get themselves back into the mix.
Yeah, I see Eric Sutcliffe came off of pit road second. Of course, he won the pole for tonight's event, but got hooked on the backstretch on lap 1, unfortunately, by that 55 of Brody. So Eric can tango up at the front again and see if he can keep himself up there after setting the fastest lap in our qualifying session.
Eric Bianchini just on pit road, and that's a very, very lengthy stop, unfortunately. That's like a +minute stop for Bianchini, so I don't think he's going to be competitive, unfortunately, but we'll see how he'll be and shape up against all these other drivers and such. We're still in Basin as well. He hit the wall off of turn number 4. He did hit both ends of the wall, so the inside and outside wall. So Dylan, 33-second pit stop for him. And we just mentioned the 83 of Joe Burgee now. Looks like a 130. Reline it up and do it again, and that was the first ever long run we had.
Yeah, there was some really good excitement there. That was pretty fun to watch, but hopefully we can get another one of those here. As the front of the order has been shaken up a little bit. Aaron Mulrooney not in the lead. He is a lapped vehicle in 15th, but Zoltan Herzeg, Eric Sutcliffe, and Grayson Trexler are now your top 3. And despite the damage he suffered in that incident, Ibrahim Dejani is still in 4th.
Yep, for Mulrooney, I don't know why he's up on that high side. He's right in front of Zoltan Herzeg. Usually you see lap cars to the bottom, but I guess they're both going to stay all single file and such for the 2. So for the 2 of Mulrooney, that means he's currently lead lap, and he's not going to have to fight out with 96 at Herzeg for that restart. So hopefully Mulrooney will stay in front of that 96 when a caution does come out. Alright, here we go. iSCAR will scoot itself on the pit road, the number 2 of Aaron Mulrooney, who is not the leader. The leader is that number 96
Green
of
flag,
Zoltan
green
Hertzeg.
flag.
We're back green here at Daytona.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mulrooney should have immediately been lined up on the bottom, but it looks like no harm, no foul there. As Sutcliffe and Trexler are gonna try and hook together, but apparently they're not. As Trexler will go down to the bottom side and potentially try to work with Mulrooney, and Brody's gonna line up here with Sutcliffe.
Yeah, with everybody single file, this really fanned out the restart. You see all these drivers around here coming off of turn number 2 as a whole pack fans down the back straightaway. 3 wide action, and oh, I thought that number 55 of Brody Garner was going to clip that 45 of, I think, Grayson Trexler, and that's a pass for second place. But here's up for the lead as Mulrooney again. He's a lap car. The number 96 is Zoltan Hertzeg. Has a bit of a cushion to fend off for that second spot.
Yeah, they're coming up on somebody else, I guess. There's William Schmidt. I guess he wasn't caught up for the restart. But yeah, Mulrooney trying to get his lap back here, which would be beneficial because, of course, he would not have to line up on the bottom with the leaders, and he can line up in the back. So Mulrooney, despite being a lap car, trying everything he can to keep himself up there. Because, of course, even though, you know, the free pass really wasn't necessarily a thing back then, but he's trying.
Yeah, and he goes to
right
the
now
front.
he's got it.
Yeah, that's the only way you could get your lap back here, and the two will have to fight out with Zoltan Hertzeg, who's probably going to be a bit annoyed because he's not fighting out technically for the lead, but he's fighting out to be the point of the pack. But as of right now, side by side on top, Mulrooney wants his lap back, and the 96 is now under pressure for the 55 of Brody Garner. The 3 wide. Oh, so close as Brody might boot out the 2.
And Mulrooney's going to get left out to dry here out of turn number 2 as the leaders will go single file down the backstretch. So Mulrooney tried, and unfortunately looks like he's going to come up just short for now, as Hunter Johnson, now after restarting 7th, now looks for second place.
Yeah, and he has a huge run through 3. We'll see if he could swing to the high side to get Zoltan. He files back in line. Now switches back low. Gets his nose down there, but Zoltan shuts the door on him.
Man, I'm surprised he made that work. I thought if he came down, he was going to get turned, but, you know, racing is a game of inches, and case in point right there is Brody's trying to make the high side work, but unfortunately no help found there. And Hunter will try again here for the lead out of turn 2.
They work down the back straightaway as you see a bit of shuffling. The number 12, Hunter, want to maybe peek to the high side or maybe shove Brody up the track. And Brody got a huge run down the back straightaway with no help. I don't know if that's a bit of prevalent of side drafting and such, but down into turn number 4. Oh, Hunter was about to clip the quarter panel of that 96. Zoltan's doing a nice job of fending off this whole entire back.
I'm a bit surprised he's blocking this early. Of course, he's still got 46 laps to go, or 47, more than half the race still remaining. But I guess he wants that bonus point for the most laps led, and it's actually 5 bonus points rather than 1. Of course, we are using the old NASCAR points format, so the winner will get 180 plus bonus points for leading a lap and leading the most laps. So by Zoltan blocking like this, while it seems a bit early to do so, it may get him 5 points later on in the race.
Oh, but that's right, as Hunter had no help. He had to go ahead and scoot himself back in the line because he wanted to gun for that lead. One car on the wall right behind.
Oh! And Corway. And the back of Corway's car will lift up off the ground as they slide to the pit road entrance, and that's not a caution?
Not a caution. Slid off the track in time.
Wow.
I'm surprised too.
I think that's the same thing that happened with the first wreck Antis was involved in, where he just slid up the track out of turn 4 and hit the wall, and unfortunately, a victim of circumstances is the 99 to Corway, and those two are going to need a caution, and they're going to need it fast, but as of right now, we're still green.
Garner all the way to the apron, and that yellow line is usually not a rule here, but that's going to be discussed. No doubt about it. Oh!
Whoa!
Nice save.
Yeah, Zoltan's still managing to hold on to the lead. No one can get by him yet, but I'm sure Hunter wants to quickly. And here might be his chance. He's got the nose under him into turn 1. And I think it's going to get him here.
Yeah, drives it down to the low side. Looks like Brody's going to help Hunter So this will push that number 12 to the front unless the 96 Zoltan could split. Oh, 3 wide through the middle.
Wide.
What a move.
Daring move there by Brody. Now it's going to be a matter of... Actually, it's not going to be a matter of... Brody clears Hunter into turn number 3. A really aggressive move that's paid off of that 55. As Trex are trying to catch these top 3, but these top 3 currently just a bit of a gap ahead. But it looks like that'll now close up.
Yep, and Brody, first time he's been in the lead, I think, this whole entire race. So it looks like he's led 2 laps as you see Charlie Byron, that number 7, just work himself back onto the racing surface. One car, I think that was a wreck.
That might have been a blinker.
Yeah, that's right.
First I thought that was a motor blowing up, but it looks like that's Joe Burgee with his blink of the race. Unfortunately, that is a common theme with that car, but hopefully it doesn't cause any problems here as Trex are trying to make a move now on the bottom side for 3rd underneath Zoltan, and Sutcliffe up there as well. And hey, Mo Rooney's up in that main pack again. Maybe he can try again to get his lap back.
Sutcliffe was dead sideways as he elevator dropped to the bottom of the racetrack, and the 12 was sideways there. Might have gotten a bump from the 96 of Zoltan Herzog, and Hunter gonna cut off Brody heading into 1. What a move by Hunter.
They're all sideways, but they just know how to save it here. Hunter back up to the lead once again. Looks like they're coming up on Schmidt again, unfortunately. He's going to go, I think, 10 or 11 laps down now, but actually 18, more than I thought. But unfortunately, that flip really did do him in for tonight. And, you know, it's the 2nd week in a row or 2nd race already this summer series that we saw a car glitch like that. And nice save by Trexler.
Yeah, he got tied off of that 4th turn, and Zoltan did a nice job of sort of pushing down 3 wide. What a move!
Here comes Zoltan again on the bottom, and he's going to clear Brody for the lead.
From nearly wrecking to the lead, Zoltan Herzog is a wheelman.
They're all wheelmen for holding on this long, but yeah, as I was mentioning before, it's the 2nd race already that we've had a glitch flip like that. Of course, Burgee flipped at Iowa in the street stocks like that in some bizarre way, so I guess one of those iRacing bugs that's got to be patched, but I don't know if they're going to patch Legacy Daytona, but...
one car up in the air!
Oh my God, Brody's up on over and almost goes over, but Trexler's going to be involved in that, and that is a caution.
Yeah, and that'll give some breaks to those people who are losing the draft and such, but man, Brody got up in the air. Not sure if he even hit anything. His car just got wedged by, I think, what... I honestly don't know what happened. It blinked once off of 4.
Trexler definitely got into him, but after the fact, let's see.
Whoa!
What the?
That was a weird wreck.
Yeah.
Take a look at it again.
Oh, he clipped the apron.
Right
there.
Wow.
That's, yeah, the whole right side of the car just picked right up, so... Well, these cars can do blowovers.
Oh my gosh. He got
I
lucky.
didn't think we could do one like that.
Honestly,
yeah, I'm sure.
I don't think it was a case of the air getting under the car. It was a case of the wheels touching together.
That would be a hell of an onboard shot for that 45 of Trexler, as he got a cockpit full of Brody Gardner's tires.
Yeah, I got an onboard of him and onboard the gyro cam. As he worked himself through, you see Brody just slide up and
Wow. And I think they're both going to be able to continue despite how bad that looked. It almost reminds me of Kyle Larson's wreck at Daytona a couple years ago when he, with the back of his car lifted up like that, and Ricky Stenhouse and Brendan Gaughan drove right underneath him. But, man, what a weird wreck. That definitely takes the cake for the weirdest one of the day so far, and we'll have to see if it's the last one or not, but unfortunate, too, because Brody was one of the best cars on track all race long, and that's definitely going to set him back a bit.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So I'm going to get a quick radio check for a couple of things. Eric Sutcliffe currently, I mean, I would say he's your leader, but he's just he just has the first stall. But to go off of pit road, looks like Joe Burgee's going to win the race off of pit road.
Yeah, I think that might be Burgie's first lap led all night tonight. So 5 bonus points to the 83. I believe that's either a 5th or 6th leader so far. So definitely a wide array of lap leaders up to this point. And it looks like we are at the halfway point here tonight. Those green flag runs definitely accelerating this race, and it looks like Burgie, Hertzeg, and Sutcliffe the top 3 here for the upcoming restart.
Alright, apologies about that, but now we're coming up to lap 37 out of 75, so still a solid 30 minutes left in tonight's race. Man, it's been wild from the drop of the green. See right there. Oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. I'm not sure how many cars are actually left on track. Looks
16.
like I think. Yeah, unfortunately, William needs 18 more cautions, but that's pretty much impossible at this point of the race. So I guess, as they say, he's just there for the SR now. But there you see Schmidt, Bayer, and one other car will line up on the bottom here for the start. That's Ansys in the 68 also down there. And Jake Corway. So you got 4 lapped cars on the bottom, so this is the most of any restart so far. So definitely something these leaders, which now include Matthew Klein up into 4th place, so wherever he came from, something these leaders have to navigate around as they head on down into turn 1.
Green flag.
Yep, green flag is out, and up and away we go as you see some drivers just hop to the apron and such, but everybody's regrouped as Klein, as you mentioned, did not get a good
blinking.
restart. He's blinking too. He's starting to get going now as these drivers work around these lap cars. This is going to be spelling a bit of trouble for a couple of these drivers. Matthew Klein's in the wall.
Well, yeah, looks like the leaders were actually working with the lapped cars before Klein, but looks like he will just drop himself to the back, and that'll put Ibrahim Dajani back up into 4th place. He's got Hunter Johnson and Brody Gardner, who's still on the lead lap, behind him, and Bianchini a little ways back, as Ansys will slide up the track into turn 3, and that's not good news for Bianchini, as he wants to get up with those leaders again.
Yep, in the meantime, Zoltan Herzeg has up the charts again.
Whoa,
Oh, man, I thought that was going to be a
close.
contact.
Yeah, that kind of blocking plus blinking usually doesn't work, but somehow in some way it did this time, as Joe Burgie maintaining 2nd for right now, as this is his highest he's run all night, minus the laps he went under caution.
Yep, and he wants to gun for the lead. Here he goes. He's going to sneak up to the high side. Never mind
There
that
he goes.
shuffle.
Whoa.
It's the inside. Gonna have help from that number 76 of Eric Sutcliffe. So Zoltan, oh, sideways.
Whoa,
Burgie's sideways as
bubble.
well.
Hold on. Yeah, Burgie's realizing what that bottom side does, and it'll cost him some time right there, as Zoltan will assume the lead once again here, and it looks like Hunter will stay up high to try and pass.
Yep, and to the point was that number 12, Hunter Johnson. He's already won a race today. I mean, this week. Can he win another one? Zoltan's been close. He got 2nd at Stafford and came close at Daytona yesterday. Can he top the charts finally? But they work down the back. Still have a solid amount of laps left. Looks like 36 to go this time. But right now, this top 4 all over each other.
That's a top 6 now. Sutcliffe in that mix, and Burgee, and there's Ibrahim Dejani right back there in 6th. So, bit of a top 6 breakaway here is Bianchini. Not sure if he's close enough to get the draft, but yeah, Dejani's had a pretty solid night so far, run top 10 almost the whole race. Just that minor little incident with Bianchini earlier on, but it looks no worse for wear for him.
Some of these drivers toward the back are really off pace, and man, they're gonna get lapped soon.
I think Trexler may have gotten engine damage from Brody landing on him.
Right.
So somehow Brody escaped that with not a lot of damage, but the same cannot be said for Grayson. Of course, William flipped early, so he's got engine damage, and I guess Basin may have gotten somebody back into the wall earlier. As here comes Hunter up the high side once again, and Brody will help him do so, and Hunter may actually lead this lap.
Yeah, it looks like Hunter led the lap that time, and everybody's now shoving right up against that safer barrier, but driving it deeper is that number 96 is Zoltan Herzog. He's going to hold on for the moment. Can the 78 of Eric Sutcliffe make something happen? I don't think he can, but Hunter getting a huge shot from that 55 of Brody Garner, and those top 2 are going to shoot to the front.
Yeah, and even if they can't get it done now, there's still 33 laps to go, so there's still more than enough time to try and make that work. And in all honesty, I wouldn't even make it work now. I'd try and wait till maybe, under 10 laps to go, because if you wait till you're under 10 laps to go, you're probably more likely to keep that position than if you make it now.
Yeah, that's right, and Zoltan Herzog is gonna swoop right in front of Hunter Johnson like he's done this whole entire race. And for me, I don't know. Personally, I think these drivers are a bit over-aggressive. I don't know if they're going to have at least one more pit stop. And you see a block right there. Herzog just about getting into the bumper there of that number 12, Hunter Johnson, who guns for the lead. And he slide jobs right in front of the 96. Crossover move. Can't make it happen, though.
And he tries again up on the high side here to the line. He might get him. Not quite. As Dejani now third on the bottom, so he's gotten by Burgee, and Burgee may have just scraped the wall a little bit there into turn 1, but he's still chugging right along as those top 2 still side by side.
Yeah, I think it's harder to stay to the bottom as Burgee wants to split. I mean, not Burgee, but the 55 of Brody Garner wants to split the gap again. That man is on a mission. He's been flinging it 3 wide all sorts of places, but he already has a win on his back. It came in the IndyCar series at Pocono. We'll see if he could go ahead and make something happen here tonight as Hunter is going to retake second place. And now the top 6 is all single file.
Not for long, as they're going to try and make a move here. Hunter might go high. There he goes. Brody's going to help him do it. So even with these guys being single file, you can pretty much count on it not staying like that for long. So if you're one of those people that hate single file racing, this is a race for you, because they very rarely do that. As Hunter's still trying to make the high side work, but it looks like him and Brody got disconnected just for a bit. But now it looks like Hunter might be able to come down if he wants.
Yeah, you see here down the back straightaway, the run they got. 95 of Ibrahim Dejani is wanting gun for that position. Oh, he's on the wall!
No! And the back end will come up in his car. Fortunately, nobody else involved, and that'll bring the caution out.
Honestly, he spun fairly softly, but man, he got a lot of rear end damage because of that. So,
yeah, his engine may be intact, but aerodynamically, that's going to be a problem for him. But the fortunate part is that did bring out a caution. So, unlike Dylan Basin and Josh Ansonis, he will not lose a lap from that.
That's right. And Ibrahim, oh man, that's a hard hit. The way the car bounced off the wall, I think that was a tire hit. So I'm not sure if he's gonna be like destroyed. Well, we'll have to see though on how long he's gonna spend it on pit road. But man, that's unfortunate for Ibrahim.
Yeah, another car. Yeah, he was running top 5, top 10 all long, and hopefully he can keep himself up there, and that damage isn't too bad. But with the way that back end lifted up and the way he hit the wall, I'm not so sure how that's going to work out for him.
And this time by, you will see pit road open. Pretty sure everybody's going to be able to make it from this point forward. I'm not really sure though, but we'll have to see. Man, a lot of these people in the front pack are just having problems of turning down the car into the corner and getting to the outside wall. And, yeah.
And perhaps some people are able to pick up on that faster than others. Of course, he mentions the learning curve earlier, so looks like some people may be getting around that curve faster than others. And it looks like everybody's in for what could be the last stop of the night. We'll have to see if those tires can make it the rest of the way. As we saw a lead change off of pit road on the last caution, we'll see if that happens again here.
Yeah, Bergie, we'll see if that number 83 could scoot himself back to the front, but in the meantime, everybody's on in and doing their pit stops, and out first comes Zoltan Herzog, and
Sutcliffe, Brody, Mulrooney up to fourth now. Looks like Bergie and Bianchini. As Mulrooney got his lap back 2 or 3 yellows ago, so he will get fourth. Looks like Hunter's might be taking some repairs. He's still on pit road.
yeah, that number 12 is on pit road. Don't know what he's really doing, but that's a good break for that number 2 of Aaron Mulrooney. Of course, he didn't start with the pack. Caught a couple of cautions, put himself on the lead laps, and now the number 2, Mulrooney, is going to be one of those contenders now out front. So add another new contender to the list for that top spot. Maybe the 2 will finally lead some laps here at Daytona.
He was in the lead lap for the previous restart, but he fell back because I don't think the pack was well formed. But with him in fourth this time around versus 8th or 9th or wherever he was, we'll have to see if he can keep himself up there and maybe now contend for the win in this back third of the race.
Harley Beyer and the number 7.
He's 9 laps down.
And he's going to hit pit road now. So we'll take the 1 to go at the wire. There's only 2 pace laps that get ran, which is funny.
I like it.
Yep, 1 to go.
It also means my pick won't win, unfortunately. I had a good streak going, but that's all right. Your pick's done pretty good tonight, though, I'll say.
Yeah. I'm not surprised to see that number 96 up front. I mean, he's just about led every race on Wednesday.
Every car winning, yeah.
Yeah, on Wednesday he didn't show up. Thursday he led majority of race at Stafford. Friday he didn't show up at IndyCars. Saturday he led he nearly won the race before he got wrecked. Of course, here we go on Sunday. It's up front yet again. So 96 is definitely a fun person to watch here in this league.
Yeah, looks like pretty much any car he gets into, he will bring it to the front and be consistent in it. Reminds me a bit of what Ross Chastain does in NASCAR. Right now he's run, of course, races in all 3 series this year, and he's been competitive across all 3 of them.
Oh, that's right. And if you're now just joining us here for tonight, we have 4 broadcasts going on at once. The Summer Cup Series at Indy, being presented by, I think, Rudy's broadcasting that race. Of course, iSCAR here at Daytona 07. Race number 1 going underway for the Yost Auto Sales Legend Series. The Slide Job Racing Lead presents to you the Cup Series. Joshua Medlock is broadcasting that as well. Oh, no, actually, Rudy is broadcasting the Nork IndyCar Series. So I think the person who's broadcasting the Summer Cup Series might be D'Amico. So yeah, go ahead and tune in to some other live streams as well. Here we go. Green flag is back out.
And Schmidt will drop to the apron once again. Of course, he is around 20 laps down and well off pace, so he will scoot himself out of the way. And now this will be interesting. Now Zoltan's out there all by himself, and the rest of that lead pack is formed up. If they split 2 by 2, Zoltan can't block them both lanes.
Yeah, look at everybody jam up right against the bumper of that number 76 of, oh man, I thought Bergie was about to lose off the corner, but everybody was lined up there behind the 76 as they're trying to work around the 7 of Byron. Yeah, you mentioned Mulrooney. Here he comes.
And Sutcliffe will go down there as well, and that'll leave Brody the odd man out for now on the high side. But I don't imagine that'll be like that for too long. And it looks like Hunter Johnson he's in 10th place now, so, and he's off where he lost the draft on the restart. So something off with his pit stop. We'll have to maybe check on that later, but Brody's still by himself up high, but now it looks like he'll he'll get help in the form of Joe Burgee. As I say that, he goes back down.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson had a very lengthy pit stop, a 1:39 for that number 12 as he tries to sneak up to the backside. I think that's Dylan Bass in the 08. In the meantime, up front, this whole lead pack is grouped up together, and the number 76, Eric Sutcliffe, now in second spot, was sort of floating around as he got a bit sideways, and the car got ill. Nearly got into the backside of that number 55. 3 wide now through the tri-oval.
Brody up high, Sutcliffe in the middle, Mulrooney on the bottom. And looks like Mulrooney will get the best of that exchange as Sutcliffe will file down behind. And now Charlie Byer, who is 9 or 10 laps down, will push Brody through the turn.
Now here comes the 83 Joe Burgee as well as he scoots himself to the low side and tries to make something happen. He doesn't really have any help. All that help's down right in front of him.
Sutcliffe up high.
Now Sutcliffe to the high side. We'll see if Brody is going to tag along with him. He tries to. Drifts up off the corner, but unfortunately Burgee is there. Easy blinking in and out and such, but still up front. Oh!
Whoa! Hold on to it, Joey. And he does. Nice job.
Man.
And he'll keep the position.
Yep, that's right. But here we go for the lead. It's number 2. Mulrooney is going to sneak up to the high side. That number 96 is Zoltan Herzeg. Side by side for the lead with 25 laps remaining. I mean, less than 25 laps to go. Now we're coming down to crunch time as these drivers now file in for position.
Not the first time we've seen this between these two cars either, of course. In the modifieds at Stafford Thursday night, Zoltan dominated the first half of that race, and Mulrooney got by him with around 30 or 40 to go and ended up winning it. So here we see Zoltan versus Aaron, Volume 2, and for right now, Zoltan's writing his own pages for that novel. Oh, Burgee again holds on to
what a
it.
save!
Hunter's up there now. Hunter caught this front pack, so he's right back up in this as well, and actually he's now up to 4th place, as Sutcliffe will slide back into 5th.
That was an amazing job by Joe Burgee to keep it straight, and yeah, it looks like the 95 of Ibrahim Dejani, he's off pace, unfortunately, but now we got a 4-car battle for this lead, and they're all trying to pull away from the number 7 to Charlie Byer, so I think only 4 competitive cars are going to be in here for this one. Man, this is going to be a dogfight between the 2, the 96, the 55, and the 12.
If I were Eric Sutcliffe, I think I'd try and stay behind Charlie Byer because he might need to use him to try and get back up to these top 4. But it looks like Sutcliffe will get down to the bottom here as Mulrooney got really loose right there, but holds on. And for right now, Mulrooney's got that top spot.
Yeah, we'll see what happens down the back straight away. Into the side of that number 2 comes the 96 yet again. Firing back. You throw rocks, I'll throw rocks as well. And they're even off in the 3. See who gets the benefit as, man, they're nearly dooring for that 3rd spot. Brody Gardner just about doored the 12.
Yeah, the only thing about throwing rocks is don't do it from a glass house.
That's right.
But as we're now 21 laps to go, so it's closing time here at Daytona. We said there was plenty of time still to make moves. That time is slowly starting to tick away. So these guys start to need to think about making their moves to the front now and how to stay there once they make them.
And you mentioned that number 76, Eric Sutcliffe. He just snuck to the backside of that number 12, and now Sutcliffe is going to make this a 5-car battle for the lead, but they still need to find themselves around.
Brody.
Oh, man!
Another great save. He was dead sideways again.
Herzeg is just so good up front. He knows how to wheel this car around this speedway. He's just, oh, Brody yet again is dead sideways. He has a run this time, though. Wow, what a move.
He might make it stick here through the middle of the turn. What a daring move, and it might pay off for him here. But him and Mulrooney got a bit disconnected, so they're going to be side by side here out of turn 2.
Man, it's like a chess game. You got to play your runs out right as Mulrooney goes high.
That's interesting, and that's going to allow Zoltan and Hunter to both go down to the low side, but Hunter will fake out Zoltan and go back up to the high side, but Zoltan will probably block, and there he does.
Yeah, Hunter was trying to fake up to the high side in the 3. Unfortunately, he didn't have any help right behind him to get that run going. But here he goes. He's going to work to the quarter panel at 96. And side by side, yet again up front, Hunter Johnson to the lead.
Don't look now. Joe Burgie's catching these top 5 with help from Beyer as he pushed him back. So this soon may be a 6-car battle here for this top spot. As with another down this backstretch, Burgie should be able to latch onto the back of Eric Sutcliffe.
Oh man, they're looking 4 wide as the 12 cuts off the 2. Oh my goodness.
That was almost 4 wide for the lead, and they thought better of it as Sutcliffe's in the wall big time now, and that's going to drop him back out of this race. But he will be replaced in that battle now by Burgie once again. 18 to go here at the line.
Yeah, 18 laps to go. I think we're catching some lap cars. As Hunter Johnson's gonna slide, or at least attempt to slide up in front of that too. Can't make it happen though. In the 12, Hunter Johnson's he flings it off into the corner, and that rear end just steps out, and he's able to corner it through. And now he maintains that top spot as they might go 3 wide again right in the background. My goodness.
This seems like, just watching this seems a lot more like one of the old EA Sports NASCAR games than it does an iRacing race, with the way they're just chucking it in there and sliding around the place. I love it.
I love it too, and it's funner to be in the car, but for these drivers, man.
Nice job, Beyer, right there.
Yeah, that's right. For these drivers, they're on worn tires. They just got to get into a nice rhythm and keep themselves out of contact's way. And here it goes, up back to the high side comes a 96, a Hertzeg. Hunter Johnson, I think, can't fend that off since he has no help on the bottom. Brody Gardner's too far back. He's on the apron. The 2 will probably shoot in the 3rd place and might make it 3 wide. I'm not really sure as the tower gets in the way. Here comes the 2, Mulrooney.
Zoltan should be able to come down here into 3. Mulrooney not so much. But if Brody gives him enough of a push, which looks like he won't, Hunter will keep that 2nd spot for now. Coming up on a couple more slow cars here in the next few turns. I'm not sure who they are, but you'll find out momentarily as they got 3 on the high side and 1 on the inside. Burgie's still not quite able to help out yet. Zoltan will come down right here. Or maybe.
Yeah, I think he likes that higher groove rather than the inside, as you mentioned those lap cars are going to get in the way, and this is gonna be interesting as
the high side probably wears the tires out less.
Yeah, that's right. But Zoltan's gonna drive it in deep as you see Brody get tight.
And holds on, hopes to get down to the bottom quickly. There's Trexler, one of those slower cars. Where's Thiggin? Or he'll go down. They're coming up on Basin as well. Of course, Dylan was up in that top 5 earlier before that incident that, unfortunately for him, did not bring out a caution. And it looks like those top 3 have maneuvered their way around, and now...
Oh, Hunter!
Oh, Hunter saves it!
Wow, that has to be the best save this whole entire race, as Hunter was dead sideways. I have no idea how he hung on to that, but they're fanning 3 wide.
Now we got to see if these lapped cars can potentially play a role in drafting. It looks like the other 2 will file back, but Charlie Beyer has been up in this main pack this whole last run. So we'll have to see if Charlie can maybe play a role in how this end of the race shakes out. As they're coming up on Bianchini now as well.
Yeah, 14 laps to go this time by as Bianchini gets lapped. Bianchini, I don't think he got a good draft right there. He might be one of those cars who could tag on to the tail end of this pack, or might get into the wall. He does!
There he does.
The wall.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he left forward before anything happened.
Unfortunate for him, but a smart move for everybody else in the field. Unfortunate for him that it ends like that, but I guess he alt F forward for the greater good. As they're still side by side once again, but Zoltan, with the help from Mulrooney, able to pull up ahead. As they're now side by side for that 2nd spot.
Now William Schmidt, oh gosh, he's stopped. He's really slow. I'm not sure if he's out of fuel or not.
He may have blown his engine.
Or might have blown an engine. I'm not sure, but oh my gosh! They're racing so hard up front.
Yeah, Williams suffered engine damage in his lap 3 or whatever lap it was when he flipped earlier on. He's just been limping it around, so I guess his engine finally said, I'm done, so now he's done. But they're still side by side for this lead now, coming to just 12 to go, so if you want to make a move, you got to do it now, or you might have to forever hold it in, as Mulrooney trying to make the bottom work and maybe get past Hunter. But Zoltan has done pretty much everything right so far tonight.
Yeah, that's right, as William Schmidt's now stopped right there as, oh, 3 wide, maybe! Oh man, Zoltan did a nice block in the 2 of Mulrooney, keep himself up front, but the 12 has a run up against that high side. He might have gotten loose.
And he'll still file in front of Brody. There's Sutcliffe up there once again as well. We'll see if he can do anything here. Burgee trying to hold on. Maybe Bayer can help push him back up there again. A couple more slow cars up here in these next few turns as well.
Up and back to the low side goes the 55 of Garner as, yeah, that's one of the Tide machines.
It's gonna be Ansness.
Yeah, it's Ansnez. He's gonna work himself out of harm's way all the way to the apron. But, oh man, the 2 already wanted to cut off the 12 of Hunter Johnson.
And as a former teammates on proximity, of course, well, looks like they're still working together pretty good here so far. Out of turn 2, single file for now. Mulrooney trying to look low, and Zoltan cannot make the block. So here's Mulrooney's chance right here to the lead with just 10 to go.
Yeah, some of these drivers might be close on fuel, so you might see them come on a pit road maybe sometime later, but it's just a matter of when as, oh, Hunter gets on, oh my goodness.
And Hunter holds on again. They're 3 wide for the lead.
Oh!
Contact!
And
And
on the
another
wall.
one goes Zoltan. There goes Mulrooney. Collecting Sutcliffe, and the back of the car comes off the ground. Brody spins around. Sutcliffe through the grass. There's the caution.
Wow, that was crazy, as I thought the 2 would have caught air the way he flung off. But
He did a little bit. But not totally over. We're still waiting for our first iSCAR blowover.
wow. Yeah, Hunter got tight, and you see then the all got shoved into the wall, and the 2 of Mulrooney. Nowhere to go. You see the car catch air. Not enough to topple it over.
Looks like Burgee totally avoided that completely. So if he's good on fuel, Burgee may be able to restart second or third here. As it looks like Mulrooney may just blocked Hunter down to the apron, and Hunter coming back up on the track just got tight, and Zoltan with a good job of keeping his car straight, and there you see the back end lift up off the ground for that 2 machine.
Oh man.
That could have been a lot worse than it was, that much I will say.
Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Has to be nerve-wracking for these guys, though.
That was nerve-wracking up here.
I mean, no, it's fun watching up there for these drivers. For Zoltan, he's probably frustrated after leading most of this race. Now he has some damage on his car. Of course, the 76, the Sutcliffe, he has damage as well. Bergie flying out of nowhere. Of course, these brakes aren't really brakes. I mean, they're brakes, but they're sort of not brakes at the same time. That makes sense.
Yeah, Sutcliffe got into Mulrooney a little bit, couldn't slow down in time, but hopefully that's not going to be too big of an issue for him, as well, looks like we're going to go green with probably 7 to go. So
Yeah.
definitely closing
Yeah.
time here.
Oh boy. So we'll see if Zoltan will elect on with damage. Hunter has damage, and Mulrooney has damage as well. So, oh my goodness, I think some drivers stood out, and Sutcliffe stays out with 20 lap old tires. Burgee, oh no, Burgee's in, but Mulrooney also stays out. Cannot believe they stayed out.
Dylan Basin just got the wave run. I know he's got some engine issues, but if he can hold on to the draft, you never know if those top guys wreck again. That 08 might just position himself to maybe steal a win out of nowhere. And it wouldn't be the first time this month he's done that at a plate track.
Yeah, that's right, man. Oh, I'm nervous. I don't know what this kind of finish is gonna hold, because if they wreck it, it's over.
Yeah, of course, with no green-white checkers, because, you know, they didn't exist in 1987. This race can end under caution. That we didn't mention that specifically earlier on, but, you know, just like every iRacing race in existence before the green-white checkered feature was put in, this race can and I think will end under yellow tonight.
Oh, no doubt about it. All bets are off once that this looks like 4 to go mark waves, and everybody's going to be at each other's throats trying to get as much positions as they can. And that just creates a huge catalyst for a wreck. And
Man, imagine a one-lap shootout.
yeah, that can happen too.
That'd be some spicy stuff. A one-lap shootout in the first race of this series. We shall see. But yeah, really interesting call for Sutcliffe and Mulrooney to both stay out after both suffering damage in that incident. And Burgee will restart third. So Hunter, Brody, and Zoltan, the three dominant cars, got shuffled back a little bit. And actually, Zoltan looks to be in ninth now, as Casey Drake, haven't talked about him all night tonight, Dylan Basin and Ibrahim Dajani now all in front of that 96.
Yeah, Zoltan had a lot of damage. You see that left side just all torn up. I don't think he's going to be competitive, though, unfortunately.
That's really too bad.
Yeah, but
it's the second time this week he's led the most laps tonight, and in all likelihood will not walk out of here with the win. So
yep.
Definitely something to watch out for, because that just means that when Zoltan shows up again, he's going to be even hungrier than he is now, and he'll probably be even more aggressive than he is now. So I don't think it'll take Zoltan very long to pick up a win here.
Yeah, same. I definitely agree, but how about for these other drivers as well? Eric Sutcliffe, he's yet to win an iSCAR race. Joe Berge, he's up here to yet win an iSCAR race.
Ibrahim Dajani's never won in here as well.
That's right.
We saw Casey Drake, of course, has won an iSCAR, most recently the Monza Oval Shootout 2 weeks ago. I don't think Trexler's won before, but he's a lap down. Basin scored his first win a few weeks ago, of course, the Super Speedway Season 2 finale at Talladega. So some past winners sprinkled in around. Of course, Hunter, probably the most prolific iSCAR winner in this field, but we got a decent amount of guys up in that top 10 that could potentially walk out of here with their first of potentially many trophies.
Yeah. I'm unsure how the damage is on the 2 of Mulrooney, but if it's
and
severe,
the 96.
Yeah, and the 96, the Zoltan. For Zoltan, he took a very, very lengthy pit. He took a very lengthy pit stop. But here we go. Pace car's on, and green flag is out. And we'll see. Mulrooney misses a shift, and Joe hops up to the high side.
And Hunter's going to go with him here. Yeah, Mulrooney just did not go. And that's bad news for Sutcliffe as well, because when Burgee and Hunter get up there, they're going to have a much bigger run than that 76 is going to have. And if Sutcliffe blocks too late, he might take himself out.
Yeah, he's just a sitting duck, and here comes the run. Joe Berge's going to work himself to the high side. A bit of action there. So here comes Zoltan through the middle out of nowhere.
Zoltan's car looks like it's fine. He's right there.
They're four wide. Oh, no!
Oh, no, Zoltan on the wall. There he goes. All by himself. Oh, nope, there's Anstis and Bayer. Caution out again. And oh, boy, this might be a 2-to-go restart.
There were 4 wide off of 2, and Zoltan toes it out. I'm curious on what happened there.
He's jerked to the right, and
I don't know if Hunter turned down in front of him, but watch this. 4 wide at Daytona. Oh, he was trying to go to the high side of the 76 of Sutcliffe.
Oh, nowhere for Anstis to go. He's already multiple laps down. Good job by Trexler to thread the needle. Bayer in there as well. He's also way off the lead lap. But, man, that's a really tough break for Zoltan, because it looked like his car was A-okay despite that damage he picked up. But after that nose first hit to the outside wall, not so much.
Watch the number 12 of Hunter Johnson, though. Watch this. He got so close.
He probably didn't even expect it to come flying up like that. There he comes out of nowhere. Nice.
Oh my gosh. Great avoidance.
Definitely the best avoidance of the night. As Dajani now up to 6th with that. Casey Drake in 7th, Dylan Basin in 8th. All 3 of those cars off pace. But as I said before, if those top guys wreck again, those 3 might be well positioned to say, you know what? This is my win now.
Yeah, man. That whole top 3 just either winless or only has 1 win. I mean, excluding Brody Gardner. For Joe Berge and Eric Sutcliffe, this is their time to shine. Joe's luck, you know. Oh, man, for Joe's luck, I'm not sure how it's gonna play to his favor.
I mean, Joe Burgie's prior luck will tell me he is probably going to get wrecked on the final lap and won't win, but man, it would suck if that happened.
That's right.
I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Yeah. We're going to get a 2-to-go restart, by the way.
Yeah, Trexler getting his lap back, so he will be...
We'll
have 9 cars on the lead lap here. Looks like Zoltan will be first on the bottom, being the first car to lap down. But unfortunately, he's more than likely with engine damage now. Yeah, this got really interesting.
Yeah. I think, honestly, Brody is going to win it based off of how good he's been this whole entire race. Mulrooney, he's going to have a chance, but I don't think it's going to work out to his favor. He got a horrible restart because he missed a shift.
Hunter's got an outside chance. Hunter's got one of the cleanest cars in the field. Of course, Brody went up on his side earlier, which of course is the reason for Grayson Trexler's engine damage. Burgie's been in a couple wrecks. Sutcliffe's been in the wall in other cars. I mean, in terms of everybody in this top 10, Hunter is far and away the least damaged car. So even if all their engines are performing the same, he's probably got the best car aerodynamically as well.
That's right. It all depends on how Joe Burgie is going to interpret this restart. Is he going to go early? Is he going to go late? I think he's going to go on green. That'll mean everybody right behind is going to be stacked up. I don't think Burgie's even up to speed as well. I think he has engine damage, but I'm not really sure.
And the pace lights are off, so we will be going green here with 2 laps to go. And this means if they have another accident, that'll be the end of the race, and we will end under caution. Now, I'm not sure, you'll have to fill me in on this, if it's race back on that caution or not.
It's field's frozen.
So the field will be frozen. So this, regardless of what happens, this will be the last restart of the race. And of course, the deal breaker, can Joe Burgie hold on for his first ever iSCAR win? Or will someone that's already won show why they're a veteran here?
Yeah, will Brody Gardner take it big? Will Brody Gardner upset Joe Burgie? Or will Eric Sutcliffe get his first ever iSCAR win? It all comes down to these 2 laps. 5 miles left in tonight's race. But will they all be under green?
See, and it's weird because I would have thought we wouldn't be having this conversation about Eric Sutcliffe, because I thought he would have won one of the late model races we just ran in Summer Series Part 1, because he came close on a handful of occasions, but he's in 3rd place, so we'll have to see. It'd be funny to see if the 2 cars, or the 2 people that haven't won yet, end up working together, but we've got 2 laps to figure out how it's going to happen, but potentially less if caution were to come out.
That's right. Here we go. The lights are out on the pace car. No lap car is really disrupting around that inside line. The pace car is going to scoot itself on in. Hands in the field in the hands of that number 83 of Joe Burgie. We're back up and away. And the 2 Mulrooney. Again, a bad restart. A lot of people jumping to the low side. Mulrooney might be damaged.
That might be good news for Burgie, because with those guys stacked up, that's a prime possibility for a wreck to happen. And as long as Burgie can keep himself in front of that 55 of Brody Gardner, if anything in the back happens that could create a wreck, this race is won for that 83.
Yeah, but now the number 76 of Eric Sutcliffe is going to get a huge shot from that number 12. But now this whole top 2
are gone.
Yeah, they're gone. So Brody could make a move by himself, and that 3rd car in line is not going to be in effect. No, never mind. Here comes Eric.
They got disconnected. Sutcliffe's got a huge head of steam with the help of Hunter Johnson, bringing Mulrooney with them. The white flag is out here at Daytona. We will end under green. Here it is. Will Joe Burgie get his first win? Hunter's in the wall. Mulrooney goes around, and here they come into turn 1 for the last time. Oh! Around he goes.
And around goes Joe. The whole field wrecked it.
Burgie, no!
Casey Drake gets through it. Here comes Dejani.
Casey Drake gets the leader with Ibrahim Dejani in 2nd place.
Now Dejani's going to look up to the high side. Casey, it's all a matter of how the 95 is. Is the 95 even damaged?
Oh, he's damaged, but does he have a run? For the final time here out of turn number 4. Apologies for my voice crack. This is cool.
Oh my gosh.
Casey Drake.
Oh, here comes Johnny.
Oh, here goes Johnny up on the high side to the line. Casey Drake does it again. And
Wow.
steals another plate race win.
He stole it again. Casey Drake out of nowhere.
Unbelievable.
Oh my gosh. I'm shocked.
Ibrahim Dajani, despite not winning, scores his best ever iSCAR finish in second place. Man, what a finish, but oh, I feel so bad for Burgie.
Oh my gosh. That did not just happen. Holy crap. I'm so shocked right now.
Oh,
I don't even know who that was.
That was Basin.
I'm so shocked. I don't even know what happened.
I feel bad because I indirectly called what would happen, because I'm pretty sure with like 10 to go, I said Burgie would get wrecked on the white flag, and yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll have to talk to him about that later, because I probably just commentator jinxed him.
Casey Drake was, I think 5th or no, he wasn't even 5th. He was like 7th. He was 7th at the time that white flag was out.
Yeah, I knew those off-pace cars, despite being back there, had a shot. Because, of course, Dajani and Drake were off-pace for... And you see right here, Mulrooney in the wall. There he goes. So he was already out of the picture. And then turn 1, Hunter got hooked, I think, by Brody. And Burgie had it saved, and Brody just came right back down the track. There's Dylan going flying up in the air. Somebody else probably got collected. There's Dylan getting... Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, huge
It's
flip
Brody
right there.
flipping over. Yeah, Brody's solid run ending like that as well. He'll end up 9th.
I think Dajani was just too damaged.
Yeah, I don't think
really
he could have
make a
got enough
run.
of the run to try and make any moves, but...
If it was the opposite, though, it would have been a whole different story. Dajani would have been a sitting duck there coming to the line. But he had a run going.
I think he was just too damaged to actually make... If he didn't have any damage, I think that could have worked out for him, but with the damage he already had, just unfortunately not enough. But man, we saw it happen at Monza Oval, and we see it happen here. Casey Drake steals another one from out of nowhere.
Oh, man. I'm so shocked. This is...
So here's your final results here from Legacy Daytona after one of the craziest final laps we can remember. Casey Drake wins the inaugural Legends Series race here at Daytona. Ibrahim Dajani, best career iSCAR finish in second. Hunter Johnson up front all night long, despite spinning into turn 1, survives for third. Grayson Trexler ends up with a solid finish in fourth after that engine damage early on. Mulrooney, despite spinning into turn 1, gets fifth. Sutcliffe will round out in sixth. Dylan Basin ends up the last car in the lead lap in seventh. Burgie in eighth, unfortunately, did not finish tonight's event. Brody also DNFing in ninth. And Michael Bianchini ends up 10th, just 5 laps down, though.
Rest of the order is going to be shown on your screen. Josh Ansted, Zoltan Herzeg. Herzeg, of course, leading the most laps here for tonight. Charlie Byer comes up in 13th. Klein in 14th. Schmidt in 15th. Corey, Yost, Hobbs, Hankins, and Cole Woody round out the rest of the order. And here's Ryan Berry and Michael DiMaggio rounding out the 21st and 22nd. But man, what a win for Casey Drake in that number 87. Congratulations to him. We'll be right back right after this. It's the iSCAR Yost Auto Sales Legends Series, the Daytona 188. Gonna interview the top 3. We welcome you here back alive for the iSCAR Yost Auto Sales Legends Series, rounding ourselves out 75 laps here at Daytona, and I don't even have the words to describe what happened in that final lap, but hopefully Casey Drake could describe what happened out of his windshield, and we're going to go ahead and drag that number 87 into the booth, and man, 2 weeks in a row, Casey, somehow you were just in the right place at the right time, and Casey, congratulations, bud. You started 16th, and that final lap just changed absolutely everything. What'd you see out of your windshield?
Just cars flying everywhere. I didn't think I was gonna avoid that one. They were right ahead of me, and I guess they just went right up the track, and the gap opened up. Man, that was an interesting one. I feel like I always win like these crazy races, but it was really fun there at the end.
Yeah,
Sucks for
man.
Joe. He probably had the win pretty easily if he would have not gotten hooked there at the end.
Yeah, I guess just luck's just playing to your favor as that whole front pack just wiped itself out. You're in the right place at the right time, gun for a hole, and you won it here for tonight. You weren't really in the picture for most of the race, but that whole caution, that caution definitely changed the picture. How did your car handle throughout that big green flag run?
Well, it handled pretty decently. I think I hit the wall one time and kind of lost the lead pack, so I was just kind of right in the back and just hoping for a caution. And I was trying to save a little bit of fuel because it was pretty close on fuel at the end, and the caution came out. So I decided to pit, take 4 tires, and try to just get as many positions as I could. I didn't think I was going to win it. I had a really bad restart there, so it's kind of luck, like you said, and yeah.
Yeah, man, congratulations. That number 87, Casey Drake, works itself to the front somehow, and he wins here at Daytona. Before we let you go, any sponsors you want to thank here for tonight?
No, just my teams, Sage and Smith Racing Enterprises.
All right, bud. 10-4, Casey Drake rounds himself up top. We'll go ahead and see you coming around for your next race, bud.
Yep, thank you.
You too. And the first time tonight, Ibrahim Dajani is going to be in the booth. Dewey, go ahead, take this one away.
All right, Ibrahim, got a copy?
Yeah.
All right, so this is your first iSCAR interview. This is your best career iSCAR finish. How did you do it?
Well, when they wrecked, like I don't know how they wrecked, but coming off the tri-oval, I got loose, and Casey said he was gonna push me to the win, and Casey got in front of me, and then they wrecked, and I just had to. I was behind Casey. I already had damage from an earlier wreck and couldn't get any suck up or draft. I mean,
Yeah,
he
I was
took
gonna,
the win.
I was gonna say if you didn't have any damage, you probably could have gotten to him on the outside. But hey, you're also the hard charge. You started way back in 19th, and ended up the runner up here tonight. What kind of motivation does this give you looking into Bristol and for the rest of this series?
Well, I plan to run the rest of the races, Dega and Charlotte, because those are the only tracks I have. But that's pretty much it.
All right, well, I would recommend if you can get more of those tracks because you're well positioned to potentially contend for a series championship here. Hey, man, before I let you go, any sponsors you want to thank here for tonight?
Connor sucks.
All right, Ibrahim Dajani, your runner-up finisher here tonight. Hope to see you back here the rest of this weekend and for the rest of the summer series, man. All right, well.
That was Ibrahim Dajani, and that number 95, Connor sucks. Everybody knows that. We're going to go ahead and drag in number 12, Hunter Johnson, who is in position for that white flag. But, man, that big wreck up front coming into turn number 1. Hunter, describe to me what happened.
Well, I had a really good run on the outside. I was able to run right up against the wall, got to the outside of the 55 and the Joe Berge machine, and then I just got dumped. That's all that happened. I was able to hang on to it and get third, but I mean, I feel like I would have had a pretty good shot to win if that didn't happen. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, I wouldn't call that a racing incident because I was just like 55 had ample room to the bottom, but it's whatever, I guess. Overall, it was a good race. I made a lot of saves and had a lot of close calls throughout, so not a terrible finish.
That's right, Hunter. Running yourself out in third. You led 27 laps out of the scheduled 75. How was it like there running up in the draft with really, really old tires?
Um, I don't feel like the tires fell off that much. It's just like entering the corners. It's just always it's sliding. But yeah, the tires weren't really a factor. I was just coming down pit road every time just to kind of refresh mentally. That was really all that was for. But um, it was kind of close on fuel, so I just coming to that on that last restart or that last caution period, I came down just to like make sure I had everything set that I needed, just to go for it for 2 laps, and yeah.
That's right, Hunter. You mentioned you were close there on fuel at the end. If that caution didn't come out, when were you planning on coming in?
We would have made it the whole way if we just gone from where the second to last caution flag was to the end. I don't think that would have been a problem. Um, but I mean, like I said, I was just coming down to refresh myself, so. Um,
All right, bud. 10-4 Hunter Johnson rounds himself out third after starting where he finished off. Before we let you go, bud, any sponsors you want to thank here for tonight?
yeah, I gotta thank you guys for putting on a broadcast and also Proximity Racing.
All right, bud. 10-4 Hunter Johnson rounds himself out in third place after starting himself in third. Go ahead and see you coming to your next race, bud.
All right, thank you.
That was Hunter Johnson in that number 12 machine, and wow,
There's a lot to digest after that one.
yeah. Well, start off with you, doing. I want to put some information in as well. What you think of tonight?
Well, I mean, I was the most excited for this series of all of them, and it lived up to the excitement I had, which makes me very thankful. But, you know, of course, Daytona was so much more of a challenge because of the type of track it is. But I'm more interested to see how these guys can adjust now from this type of track to the short track of Bristol for next week's race.
Yeah, same here, and man, that race was hectic. Even though there was very minimal cars left in that main draft, I'd like to call it, that final lap and that final caution really screwed up a lot of these people's mentalities. And once that white flag started waving, which I'm surprised they even made it to, I thought it was gonna be a full-on. I thought there was gonna be a caution with 2 to go, but we'll take a look at the restart yet again. Joe Berge, of course, that number 83 is up front.
They had a bit of a stack up there. We didn't even notice that, but that's why they're all bunched up there because of Mulrooney's missed shift. I guess that must have been a problem he had later on in the race because that was back-to-back restarts that he had that issue. But yeah, Berge was all by himself with Brody down the backstretch, but once Sutcliffe and Hunter got hooked on together, they just flew right up to those top 2.
Yeah, right here, you see Sutcliffe and Hunter start to hook up to your right side of your screen. Brody can't really push more of Berge. You have to have more cars in your pack, and here comes the 78 and 12 just flying into the picture right here.
Yeah, and they got disconnected, which didn't help either, but
that's right.
Yeah, coming through the trial over here, I mean, Hunter made the move up here, and I think maybe Tires had a roll here, because right here you'll see Mulrooney hit the wall and go around on his own. And right here, I'm not sure, I think Brody may have hooked Hunter. Right there he did. And Berge had it saved right here, and then Brody just came right down, and Casey just missed him along with Ibrahim.
That's right, and that's all it wrote because Ibrahim was just too damaged to make something happen. Hunter Johnson runs up in third. Grayson Trexler in that number 54 coming out of nowhere. He finishes in 4th place, and Mulrooney, who spun out, he finishes in 5th. So, yeah.
Yeah, Berge never got it going. I think his engine totally was out at that point. Yeah, right here, Casey actually got a bit loose out of 4, which allowed Ibrahim to get the run up high, but just too damaged of a car for him, and that gave that 87 yet another crazy win.
Yep, his second of 2 crazy wins he's picked up here. Actually, a third. He won the Legends race in a crazy shootout with a 1 lap as Trey and all those other people flipped it as well. But Congratulations to Ibrahim Dajani in that number 95 to pick up his first ever iSCAR. I mean, what the heck am I saying?
His first iSCAR podium.
Yeah, first
There you
iSCAR
go.
podium. But Casey
Yeah.
Drake rounds himself out up top with his fourth ever iSCAR win. Ibrahim Dajani comes up short. Fortunate for him. Until next time for the iSCAR Yost Auto Sales Legends Series, the Daytona 188. We'll be back next week at the same time slot, but man, this series is off to great start. That being said, my name is Zika Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. Thank you once again for tuning in for tonight. And we've got a full slate of races here coming up for you on MSTV this week. The Street Stock Series will head itself down to Darlington. That should be an interesting one. The Modifieds will head themselves down to Myrtle Beach, which unfortunately just recently closed. The Super Speedway Series will be at Talladega with the trucks. And the Indy cars will be at the Watkins Glen boot layout. And these very Legends cars will be right here at Bristol. So be sure to tune in for those. And thank you for tuning in tonight. We will see you on Wednesday.